what I want to know about, for all three of you, let's start with Megan. What did you learn most about doing this project?
Well, I learned that there's a lot involved. You have to take a lot of time and a lot of care and a lot of research to even put it together. And you have to be dedicated. You have to love what you're doing. And, you know, you have to find some way to have fun. I mean, I had fun putting it together, and I learned so much about the environment, how these can be used to decrease fossil fuel use, and how to preserve our world.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. How about you, Kirsten?
Well, I've done science fairs in the past, and I mean, I never really got into science, so I kind of learned this year that you really, if you want to do a science fair, you need to pick a topic that interests you and that you're going to be able to stick with, because it's a really long process, as you said. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing and you don't enjoy the topic, then it's going to seem so much longer. I mean, I had a great time doing my science fair. I mean, I did it in my bathtub, and I didn't mind sitting in my bathtub for 6 hours during the day. Normally, I'd want to be out doing stuff with my friends and stuff, and it was really a great time. And me and my dad don't hang out a lot because we have a lot of different interests, and it was really something that could bring us together.
That's
because
great.
He's an engineer. So it was really a lot of fun. And I think the most important thing is knowing exactly what you want to do and have a passion for that topic.
Right. And you weren't a science person before.
Not at all. Not at all.
What type of projects did you do before that you didn't like as much as this project?
Well, I remember in middle school I did one on hand washing. And I mean, it was kind of an elementary project, and I just did it because we had to do it, and we had to show the scientific process. So that was kind of just one that I found on the internet. And then 9th grade I did a similar thing. I did one on pendulums. And it just didn't really interest me. And then last year I did one on solar panels, which was fun, but it still wasn't something that I could relate to. And then with the neoprene wetsuits, my dad surfs, I boogie board, and we have like a beach place up in Ocean City. So I had some interest in it and a personal history behind it,
Yeah,
so I knew what it was.
You found the science of something that was just a very everyday activity for you.
Right, and I worked to make it more scientific in a sense.
That's what I found too. I found it last year actually. To do something practical and real world, it makes it a lot less, because science, I'm not very much of a science person. Science, if you get too sciencey, I'm just kind of like, whoa, I don't understand this. And
But your project last year was really quite into the technical details.
But then at the same time, it was something that I could see. Last year I did the energy efficiency of different types of flooring.
Where color did matter.
Where color did matter, yeah. And I wanted to see which type of floors would heat up the fastest and which would stay warm the longest. And so it was involved in statistics and stuff, but it was something that I could see, something in my house, which floor gets warmer, which room gets warmer. Again, this year, like something in my house, can I make something that I can see as opposed to, you know, like microscopic something, which I'm sure is interesting to some people, but just for me to be able to relate to it, it really took doing something that I could make in real life, like, and put a purpose to it in my everyday life.
So in Kirsten's project, you worked with your dad because it was something that he was interested in. I'm wondering, Megan, how about your friends or your family? Were they really into something like this? Your grandparents?
No, I mean, most of the technical stuff was way beyond what my friends would be interested in even sitting down and listening to. And my dad, he helped me like with the power tools and stuff, you know, supervised me so I didn't cut off a finger. But besides that, no, I mean, I was pretty much by myself, you know. It was really interesting just doing the whole thing, putting it together. It was really fun.
Yeah. And
for mine, because of the high temperatures, I needed to have my mom around just, you know, to make, but she got into it too, and so it was kind of a bonding time for us, which was nice. And she would always come home and say, I thought of something else you could make out of HDPE. And then she would tell me, and then I would figure out a mold if I could make it, if it was possible. But it was, I mean, it was definitely my project, but she got into it too, which was nice.
Yeah, that is good, because science isn't something that you only do in just your little corner. Sometimes you need the downtime to just think real quietly by yourself and figure something out. But engineers and scientists work with people. They want to do projects that affect people's lives, that have some kind of significance other than just them in their cubicle with their computer. So there is a social aspect to it, even if sometimes it's just a quiet thing where you're just doing some brainstorming. But it's always a lot of working together, getting ideas from your parents or from your friends or from your colleagues to work on a project together. So that's great. So does anybody have anything else that they want to say about each other's projects? Or Jackie, what did you like most about Megan's project?
Well, I loved because I went to Spain this summer, and we were driving down to Tarifa, which is a city in south of Spain, and we would just see miles and miles of these things, and it was amazing. And I was sitting there on the tour bus wondering, how do they work? And it's cool to think about that a 16-year-old can actually figure it out and simulate it, which is great. And the surfing thing, well, in Spain we went surfing at Tarifa is a big surf spot, and I've never been big into like surfing or body boogie boarding or whatever, but I think it's very cool like how someone can go so far underwater and keep their temperature. So.
Yeah, what I love about Jackie's project, though, is I know that my family drinks a lot of milk, so we always have all these milk jugs laying around. It's just a really good way to reuse it. But we waste so much plastic that it takes so long to make, and then we just throw it away.
Well, I'd like to thank all three of you girls for coming today, and I'm going to give each of you a gift. I have Society of Women Engineers magazines, and I also have Society of Women Engineers Frisbees, and I have a few more things from American Association of University Women for each of you.